Hello, you're watching The Luna Show. Right now you're about to see Nicole Xtravaganza.
Shake your body, groove your body, jack your body, move your body.
Hello, Nicole Xtravaganza. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. It's a pleasure having you in the show. I think you are like the ballroom bombshell, like the beautiful, sexy one. And
Thank you.
so this is an honor for me. Tell me a little bit about your early days, growing up.
Okay. Well, I grew up near the Jersey Shore in New Jersey, and I graduated high school, and I discovered myself. Well, I started in middle school. I started dressing up in drag, and every day after school I would come home dressed in my mom's clothes and makeup, and then she'd come home and I'd jump in the shower and start washing my face, and all her outfits were on. She's like, "What are you doing?" It was too much, but I left and I came to New York and I found myself.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a supportive family?
Not in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother accepted me, my aunt accepted me, but my mom, she disowned me for a couple years. It took her time.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about how you came into, because once you were in New York City, what do you do?
I was homeless, pretty much because nobody really, supported me.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother let me stay with her, but other than that, I didn't feel comfortable, going back and forth to Staten Island. That's where she lived. So I started stripping as a gay boy.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't consider myself gay because I wasn't really gay. I was confused, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was just me. And I needed money, so I started being an exotic dancer.
Mm-hmm. And so tell me a little bit about when you started to transition and starting the process. How was that like for you?
It was difficult, confusing, because the only thing I did was I went around the corner from where I was working, and I went to Sally's, and that's where I found my first transsexuals and stuff.
Okay, so who were your early influences that you saw at Sally's?
Early
Because that's like an
influence-
iconic place. A lot of people don't even know that place existed.
Angela Carrera, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Tanae I knew from the Ballroom scene, but she was still in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Octavia, obviously my mother, was a big inspiration to me. That's pretty much all I can think of in the top of my head.
So how did you come upon the ballroom scene?
I had a girlfriend, Marisol, may she rest in peace, and she was in the House of Infinity, and she brought me to Hector and Jamie, and I don't know, I just walked.
I think I remember those days. The Infinity years is what I call it.
Yes, those were the good years.
And so, at that time, that was an era where all the beauties were out. It was you and Vanessa, and I remember really hot moments.
And
And Misha. So, what was that like for you?
Amazing. It was awesome. Back in the days, you can't even go back to those days of the balls because that's when the balls were really good. Honestly, I don't know. It's changed so much,
Mm-hmm. Do you think that we need to go back to some of the creativity and how it was back in the 90s?
Of course. I think that it has changed a lot. I think it's gotten a lot more just performance lately. It hasn't been a lot of face and battling of the faces of... oh my God, it's just so different before.
To transition. What was the transitioning part for you like? When do you say, okay, I think I'm going to do this?
Well, it took me a little bit of time to think about it because, I have two little brothers and my mother, and I had to really think about things really, really carefully because I didn't want to jeopardize me never seeing my family ever again because I love, my brother used to take care of him when I was in high school and feed him and everything, and I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to do this? And I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I put my foot down and I started. I actually met Nikki Xtravaganza, also may she rest in peace. She found me on 14th Street and she said, you know what, I'm going to take you in. I was all done up in drag, and she's like, you're very feminine, and she's like, I'm going to give you a hormone shot. I'm like, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
And she did.
And that's how it started?
And that's how it started. And then I got nauseous, and then I got dizzy, and then I got sick, and then I got hungry, and then I got tired, and then I was like, oh wow, these is so many different feelings, and I still took another shot the next week, and the next week, and I took another shot religiously. And I started feeling like a little knot inside my breast, start growing, and I was like, wow, things started changing. My skin started glowing, and it started getting shiny and clear. I had a little bit of acne, and my actions got more feminine, and it was just amazing.
So, what other steps do you take to become, the Nicole that was inside that you wanted?
Lots and lots of plastic surgery.
So, tell us a little bit about that. Like,
Oh my God. I mean, when I was little, I used to look at Barbie dolls and I say, I want to be just like that. Just like my mother, Octavia. She used to look at dolls and say, I want to be like her. But, yeah, that was my only dream, is to look just like a Barbie. And I mean, not to be big, and I think I've accomplished very close to it.
you are a
But-
Barbie.
Thank you.
The Ballroom Barbie.
But it's not all glamorous. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. I'm not going to lie. I've been through a lot of surgery mishaps. I'm sure some of you have read or know about. See a board certified plastic surgeon and do your research, because I was destroyed. I was mutilated I was butchered on the table. There was a doctor that, did my breast, and he was on crystal meth, and he butchered me, and I'm still on ongoing proceedings to, sue him, but he lost his license and insurance, and, we're trying to go after him in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what will you tell young girls that are, beginning the processing of developing and becoming, the beauties and having the bodies and all that? What will you tell them? Because a lot of them do it,
Right.
illegally and.
Yes. If I could tell you anything, I know they say, silicone is bad and silicone is illegal. It depends. You can use good silicone, which is medical grade, and then you can use industrial silicone, which is from Home Depot. You don't want to use that. You want to go and make sure it's soft in the girl's body. Like if you, go by your girlfriend's, and she says, oh, this one did my body. Well, feel it, touch it, make sure, she's had it for a little bit. Because sometimes industrial silicone goes in soft, it turns out hard in a year or 2 years from then. Make sure that this person is good. I began my body with Joanne, and she's one of the best. She gives you what she feels is right, and she does very little. So some girls are very distraught and say, you know what, I want more, I want more. Then there's Lisa Marie from Connecticut. She's one of the best, and that's who fixed my body after I removed some bad silicone. So I can tell you straight up, I have had silicone removed out of my leg and my buttocks, and it was really hard and horrible. It was disgusting. So just do your research, because you don't want to go through the whole procedure of removing it and then having it, good silicone put back in.
So tell me a little bit more about what happens to people when they do, some of the surgeries or the silicone.
Well, basically, when you do too much of something, let's say you do your nose, too many times, it produces scar tissue, and things don't come out right after your 6th, 7th job, you can't get anything. Things got to work for your face. That's something I didn't realize, earlier in my life. I'm like, oh, I could get another one. Oh, I could get another one. Oh, no, I want my nose like this. No, I want my nose like this time, or I want my chin like this. I want my chin like that. Or I want my cheeks like this. I want my cheeks like that. I want my eyes like this. And you got to seriously work with what your face is giving from them, because then you're going to start messing up with, and start messing with perfection, and you don't fix what's not broke. So that's what I say about the silicone. Don't do too much, please, girls, because you're going to be removing it. Too much silicone, instead of it looking round and nice and beautiful, like upside down heart in your butt, it's going to make it look square and horrible. You're going to start getting lumps. And sometimes it could get hard. You don't want to put too much, make it look nice. If I could go back, I think I would have taken my body just a little bit more down. But, hey, I love it. I win balls, so.
Yeah, you're the beautiful sex siren.
Yeah, showstopper.
Mm-hmm. So that is your title. You are a showstopper, because every time you come out, it's almost like everybody takes a gasp, because you are so beautiful.
Thanks.